Alan loved trains, and I have a passion for trains as well. So when I knew it was going to be a train mural, it was just so fitting. Certainly there are train murals in Palmerston. Alan has over 100 murals in Grey Bruce County and beyond. There's a beautiful mural up in Wilberforce in Bancroft area that depicts people coming home after the Second World War, which is quite lovely. The other thing is a little bit of the nostalgia in terms of, you know, people thinking, well, that's Karen Tanner from the museum, but Alan and I met in 2010 at Summerfolk, actually. He was down here doing a mural, and he had gone through divorce. He and his wife had a tragedy of losing a son at 12 years old, and quite often marriages don't survive the death of a child. And I was divorced at the time, and you know, Alan was a God-loving and God-fearing man. He was an ordained minister, and we believed that that was a God wink, and we were meant to be together. He brought some wonderful life back into my life, and I certainly gave him hope after he was diagnosed with cancer. We were lucky to have several miracles, and we were married in Bancroft, and then we were married in the little church in Owen Sound where Tom Thompson is buried. So it was very fitting as an artist. But one thing about Alan, his art came about after a car accident. He had trained as a minister out west, and he and his wife had come back when the bottom sort of fell out of the market. And he was working here, doing pulpit supply ministry as well. And he worked for Bob Pringle, actually, who is from Chatsworth, mayor of Chatsworth. And I grew up with Bob as a friend in high school. So when we happened to meet, all these stories sort of came out. And Alan and his family were in a car accident during the winter, and Alan's pelvis was crushed in 5 places. And they said, you know, you're probably never going to ride a horse again. Alan, when he went west, had become a cowboy. He had done team penning and cattle roundups and that type of thing. So he loved being in the mountains, he loved being out in nature, but his first love was with the Lord. And if he was standing here today, he would tell you that his art was the gift of the Lord. And he became an artist after he had the car accident, and the insurance offered to retrain him in another field. So he went to Owen Sound, to Georgian College, when they had a design arts program there, and he became on the dean's list every year in a row, and certainly he went on to being a muralist. So that's kind of the history with Alan and I. We met in 2010, and I just wanted to take a little moment to give you some history from his own words when he talked about life. And he says, all of life's tragedies are working for me an exceedingly and eternal weight in glory. I think I have learned to be content in whatever estate I find myself. There are always joys to be had. Life is a precious gift. Mine has been full. While it seems God is not through with me yet, this was prior to Alan passing, when he was quite ill. And so began my spiritual journey until now. My faith was held from during the worst of storms, and through personal failure again and again. Faith in Jesus has taken me through the death of my oldest son and a head-on car accident, serious marital challenges. Anyway, it goes on. And basically, he says, I don't know what the future will hold. All I know is who holds the future, and that his love is unconditional, his compassion fail not. So Alan instilled in me a faith that I had lost after my own divorce. And so this mural and the storyline that I'm bidding him farewell until he goes and makes all his deliveries, and then coming back for us to get married, is really quite special.